Well, it's Sunday morning, people, and this is Andy, your lonely Libertarian candidate, citizen of California, candidate for the loony bin. So, anyways, I was reading the paper today, and we have in the Ventura County Star the list of our highest paid, most overtime, addicted to overtime professional government employees. One of them earned $124,000 in overtime. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell that guy even sleeps. How do you do $124,000 in overtime? What are we paying these guys? I mean, he's earning twice or three times in overtime what an average person makes in salary for a full year. Are there really that? I mean, he's like one of those attorneys that went to heaven and they say, well, according to your billable hours, you should have been here years ago. I mean, how in the hell does this guy possibly earn that much money? He's a deputy sheriff here. I think his name was Sanders or John something or whatever. But, you look at what we're paying these people. We are enriching these people. And no wonder we can't lower our taxes. I mean, you see these guys, they got $40,000 a year retirement plans. When they finish up after 30 years of working for us, taking from us, then we give them 90% of their salary. I mean, when does this stop? I mean, how do they deserve it? It used to be when you went into civil service, you went because you were truly serving the public. You believed that it was a good thing to do. And, you knew that you weren't going to earn much more than the average person made. But these people earn 3, 4, 5 times. And then they can say, oh, the cost of government is going up. We have to pay. Our costs are going up. Don't believe it, people. Just don't believe it. It's not true. These guys, I mean, just look at their... If you really want to get an experience for how hard government employees work, go to Washington, D.C. and look at how large their behinds are. Their rear ends, their derrieres. They're fat because they sit around all day. They don't work. It's sad. It's really sad. The people who create, the people who work really hard, who enjoy what they do, and then, they take the most risk, and, they got to pay their estimated taxes, whether they're making money or not. These are the people who are deserving of more money, not government employees. My mom worked for the State Department for 35 years. She never made as much money as some of our local employees make. And she worked for the State Department. And she had very, very large responsibilities. For 35 years she was doing it. She doesn't get these kinds. She never... I mean, if she had known ahead of time that this is what was going to culminate if you worked in California government, that you would be a king, she would have probably moved here years and years ago. But she stayed behind in Maryland, stayed back there in Maryland. But I'll tell you, it's amazing to me, what we pay our government officials. Why is it that the city manager here in Simi Valley, California, needs to make $239,000 when the President of the United States makes $400,000? Why is it that he or she, I don't know he makes $239,000? It's a small place. It has a water department. It has a public works department. It doesn't have much. The management of the city is carved up. I mean, the recreation department isn't even under his authority. So why does he need to make $230,000? Why do we need a city attorney who makes $190,000? After benefits, we're paying him close to $240,000. Why do we need that? You know how many attorneys are out of work who would love to have that job right now? You could hire 2 or 3 attorneys right now and divide up the workload and probably get much better advice. But our snake oil salesman, Paul Miller, he's just a snake oil salesman. He looks like he belongs on a Roman coin. He's nothing more than that. He's just a figurehead. Well, he says, you can't buy a lawyer for cheaper. I'll bet him $1 million I could. Well, anyways, this is what you get, people, when you're apathetic, when you don't care, when you don't show up for city council meetings, when you don't go to the board meetings here in Ventura County. This is what you get. You get this kind of government. You get people who rule your lives, who want to be in your backyard, in your front yard, tell you how to drive your car, what kind of car you can drive. They're going to tax you to death. They're going to raise your car taxes. This is what you get when you don't stand up for yourself. Remember, all the money government has comes from you. They don't have any money. The minute we squeeze them, the minute we take the money away, guess what? It all implodes. So I urge you, take the money away. Do your best. Take the money away. Let's squeeze government. Let's, induce a heart attack in our government, because it can't go on for longer. At some point, it's going to implode on its own bad nature. You can't have things like this run on forever. You can't run up deficits forever. At some point, it will implode. But do we want it to implode that way, or do we want to take it back ourselves? When do we want to take this government back? Wake up, people. Wake up. You've lost America. You're going to lose it forever, for good, if you don't wake up. And I could use some dollars to further the cause. So here's my business card. You can complain, or you can buy a book. Anyways, thanks a lot.